So I figured I would start off the diary with a night walk, mostly because I have to actually walk through at night right now um, to do some slug baiting. So wait, let me stand back so you can see the entrance to my backyard. This is I'm standing in the side yard right after the gate, and these really tall fences were put up by the neighbors, and it's amazing because it gives me so much privacy. And then we walk into the garden, and it's so pretty. This is the back patio, and this is cordata. This usually gets decimated by slugs, but it's actually doing okay, probably because I've been baiting the hell out of this entire area because everything is just terrible. Um, oh, but I see a little predatory buggo right there, so it's helping me keep the bugs out because there's a lot and it's terrible. We will talk about this during the day. These are my climbing roses. I love having climbing roses, and I just pruned these off today because they had a lot of leaves in the bottom, and if you leave the leaves at the bottom, you actually end up with a lot of problems and diseases. So I just took out a bunch of their leaves today. But we'll talk about these during the day. Oh my gosh, like you can see there's like bugs on these, and it's really annoying, but they're so beautiful, and it's literally covered in blooms. Like look at this, it's almost blooming. So we'll see these during the day. This is more of a little night walk to see my little planties. Oh my gosh, maybe I'm gonna turn this light off for now because it's kind of annoying, and then I'll turn the light back on when we go hunting for slugs. But that's artichoke right there, the big one on the right. And I have this sprawling rosemary in my rhubarb. It's looking a little bit sad, but it's only looking sad because I gave the girl who's been helping me with the yard work, I just gave her a bunch. I actually just told her to come and cut whatever she wanted, and so she cut out a bunch, which is great because I don't need more rhubarb. Like, all of these shoots are gonna produce more, and it's way too much. I can't eat that much, so it's good to give it away in some time. And so I need to figure out what to do with this arch. I just put it in this year. It's not the most stable thing because it's made of vinyl, and there is a fig tree in front of it. It's a very small fig tree, and the fig tree is only going to get to about 6 feet tall max, and that's if I don't prune it, because this is a really tiny dwarf tree, and I'm probably actually going to keep it pretty small, maybe 3 feet, to keep it producing. So I need something to break up this wall of austere, oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Yeah, something to climb that. I'm not sure yet. The lighting is amazing here at night. I spent a lot of time lighting everything up, but there's still a lot of work to be done because, like, you can see that's really messy. There's still a bunch of really messy stuff. The hose is there because I was trying to spray off the roses today. There's a bunch of herbs in pots. We'll talk about these during the day at some point too, so I'm not gonna talk about details on these things. We're just gonna try to go and inspect our little plants to see if there's any weird slug damage. There's been so much slug damage this year, it's ridiculous. And I literally have to sluggo almost every week, and I think I actually need to go get more because it's just so intense. This is a new bed. It's got a lot of chives in it, Nira chives, so garlic chives, and some new bulbs, gladiolus, and a climbing jasmine, which will be evergreen and hopefully cover up this entire very tall arbor. It's nowhere near there right now, but hopefully it has enough soil to do that over the next couple years. Here's another arch. So I decided to have a lot of arches here. Actually, I forgot that I could zoom out. So good at doing this. So there's an arch there as an entry to the rest of the garden. There's an arch there. And there's arches, and then there's an arch, and that's where we came in. So an entry arch, and then an arch that delineates entering the garden. And to the right is a this is a cherry tree, and then to the left is a bushing rose. And I actually don't remember what this is, but it's gorgeous during the day. And then on the right here, so last year I had tomatoes in here, and this year I decided to just give up, and actually not give up, but reserve this entire bed for strawberries. So you can see there's already little strawberries in there, and then I'm gonna have to net all of this in a couple weeks in order to make sure I get berries, because the birds love this backyard. They're all over all the time, down in the, they love the wood chips, they run around in it, and that's great, but not for my food, you know. I let all of my kale go to seed this year. So when you let kale go to seed, it's amazing. Like, this was completely covered in yellow blooms, but this thing's looking pretty sad now, and it's got seed pods, and I do not need this much seed. So I'll probably let maybe 1 or 2 pods go all the way to seed, but I'm gonna cut down most of this, and I'm probably actually gonna cut it down in the next day or 2. Strawberries. I love strawberries so much. So there's different types of strawberries in here. There's a pine berry, which is over here. This is like a white strawberry. And then these are wild strawberries. They're called alpine strawberries, and they're so delicious, and they're super cute. And you can identify them because they have much smaller flowers, but way more of them per cluster. So if you look at this, it's like, I don't know, 6, 8 per cluster. And then if we go over here, there's only 3 per cluster of the modern style strawberries, but these produce way bigger strawberries. So we have both. You can see there's still stuff to clean always. This is another cherry tree. I think this is my Rainier tree, and it's awesome. We'll go back to here. So I'm trying to grow another rose to climb up on this arch, and it's going. More roses. I love the look of the roses. I used to hate on roses so much, but honestly, it's so romantic, and even at night, it's just so beautiful. This is more kale that's blooming. This one bloomed way later, so I had a whole bunch of kale like crazy up here, and then they all finished blooming, so I cut them all off. And then this one just started blooming, so it's still here. It's actually shading out all of this over here, which I can't even get to right now. We'll do that in the day. But I love these little tiny fairy lights because at night they look so pretty. And we better go check on our tomatoes and make sure nothing's chomping on them. Oh my gosh, I actually don't see any damage. Yay. So these are my tiny tomatoes. Let me turn on the light, see if that helps. Ooh, that's a lot. So yeah, and my little fairy lights that turn on and off depending on how much light is on them. And these are, I put in some snaps here, snapdragons, to try to attract pollinators. It hasn't started blooming yet actually, so it's okay. I don't know if they're gonna be great long term, to be honest. These are my little onions. I love these because I think they're a Japanese style onion, and the best part about them is they have this like big ass stem. It's so big, and it's so nice, so nice. And they're all blooming now, and they're so cute. Look at them. They have little shells. Oh, this lighting is awful. I don't know how to make this work. There we go. Yes, so pretty. Okay. More roses. These don't climb. These are just bush roses. I bought these from a random neighbor. And there's no blooms on them, so we can't even see what they look like. And they're so dark. I love the leaves on them, but they're super dark. This is my little persimmon tree. This is a Fuyu persimmon, and I love the way it looks at night because, let me stand back. The leaves are so green. They're this bright, bright green. And at night, I don't know, they just look like they're glowing, and they're so pretty. And the leaves are so soft. They're just so fuzzy and soft, and I want to stand here and pet them the whole time, but like, oh my gosh, look at them, right? It's so pretty, so pretty. And then back here, so this was my kale bed last year. I had a bunch of greens at the bottom too, but all that didn't survive the winter. And the kale is obviously, you can see they're just crazy. They're falling all over the place. I get these bamboo stakes from my next door neighbor, and they cut their bamboo and then they give me the sticks, and it's great. I love it. I just asked them for some more because this kale is so crazy that if I didn't have these big sticks here, I can't grow big things. Oh my gosh, I see a snail right now and it's gotta go. Look at this, look at this. It's so fat. You can see its entire head and everything. Not living here. We're gonna put it in a bucket. Okay. I'm gonna check to see if there's any more of them. Like, seriously? Oh my gosh, I see another one. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a bucket. There's one here, but it's not one of my buckets that I use to hold crap that I'm gonna throw away. So, hold on. Where are my buckets? Oh, I see one right here. I keep these, I know it looks super messy, but I keep these little buckets around so that I can throw crap in there, like snails that are eating. Oh my gosh, my kale. How dare they? And the thing is, during the day, they hide. And then at night, they climb out. So in order to see them, you can't see, but there it is. You have to like look for them at night. Oh my gosh, I see another one. There's so many. Sometimes when there's a lot, I just spray them with ammonia, and that works pretty well. But with any spray, there's a risk of burning the leaves, and so I don't like to do that unless I have to, because it's not that it's toxic. Ammonia is totally fine, but ammonia will absolutely burn leaves if they're young, for example, so it's no good. Last year I grew this tiny, very cute woodland strawberry. It's a wild strawberry. Oh no, this is a weed, so it's gotta go. No, friend, we don't want you here, okay? This is not for you. This thing has also been trying to take over this bed. I don't know what this is. It's like horrible stuff though. Anyway, I have been trying to grow this cute strawberry, and they have the tiniest little flowers. They're so small, but they make delicious berries. So they're on their way. But they were in the strawberry bed, and they didn't actually, they were in this pot right here too, and then they jumped the pot, and I thought, well, if that's what you want to do, I just moved them all out the pot. So they're giving me a perfect ground cover. They are so much happier than when they were in the bed. Honestly, it was my fault because the bed is not enough space for them to share, and they had too much going on. This is some curly parsley from last year. It's very cute, very ruffly. They'll probably look better during the day too, but you know what? We're here. And all of these are not even visible now, so we're not going to talk about those. But this is my tiny little baby fig, and the fig was sharing a pot with the strawberries, and then this parsley decided to volunteer itself here. I didn't plant it here, it just came, and it was everywhere. So I pulled the strawberries out to give the fig some more space because it was so small that it couldn't compete. And then I'm pulling stuff out too because you can't leave stuff that you see. And then this is an apple, tiny little columnar apple. This is how it grows. It grows ridiculous. And you can see that it's so cute. Okay, it's also got its young leaves right now, so its leaves are also kind of fuzzy on the back. But this is the top of the apple. Actually, the top part of this apple is dead. So the real apple ends like here. The freaking parsley, right? Enormous. But parsley attracts all sorts of delightful, sweet, carnivorous bugs that come and eat other bugs. So I'm just gonna let it go. And the parsley has gone insane in this pot. Like I pulled out, well, I missed a strawberry because there's one here, but I pulled out most of the strawberries to give the tree space. And then the parsley was like, yeah, I'm gonna take up all of that. So, yep. And, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I think this is all parsley. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yep. All of this is just parsley that decided to volunteer itself, except for this guy. This guy needs to come out, but I'm going to do that in the day when I can take my little stabby stick to do that. This is, oh my gosh, what's the berry that IKEA makes? Lingonberry. Lingonberry. I had 2 plants because you have to have 2 for them to pollinate each other. And it took over this whole pot. And this is my favorite time of the year to look at them, even though they're cute when they have berries. But I don't know. This time of year, they're just so pretty. And then at night, their color is just, they're so pretty. When it's at night, they're just really delightful. And then I also have, this is just regular old sage. It needs a cleaning because all of the old leaves always end up looking really raggedy after the winter. But it smells so good and it's so fuzzy and it comes back and it really does not care because it's pretty much native to this area. So it lives. This is my bay tree and the bay is blooming right now. And at night, they are so pretty. The white flowers, during the day, I think they're okay, you know? But at night, I think they really, really glow, especially their young growth along with their little blooms. They're really pretty. So I love coming out here and seeing them at night. This is my sweet little peach tree. It's not very big. It's that big. It's gotten a lot bigger since it's last year. And I don't know. It gave me 2 peaches last year when it was very small and it's produced a lot of leaves, but I don't know how many peaches I'll get this year because it's hard to tell how many got pollinated. It didn't bloom very much this year either, which is kind of expected because it's so small. I wouldn't expect it to have the energy to bloom profusely every year. So maybe this year it's just taking a little nap and then next year it'll do better. But one of the things that you can see with this plant, really obviously, especially with this one, I'm doing it to all of my plants, but for some reason I did a really good job with this peach, is the pruning. So the pruning comes out at a 45 to 60 degree angle from the main trunk. This is the main trunk right here. And so they come out. And then I want to keep everything in the middle open. So there's this big open space on purpose. And if we come over here, you can see there's a big open space in the center of this too. And the idea is because fruit needs sunlight to ripen, if I left this tree completely dense, right? Like if I didn't prune, so I would prune this branch, for example, because it's sticking up too much and it's kind of encroaching. If I didn't prune this properly, the peaches can't ripen because my summers are too short, so can't do that. But they ripened just fine last year, so hopefully we'll get a couple this year. I thought I saw a couple of pollinated flowers, but it's so hard to see right now, so now is definitely not the time to do that. This is my cute, tiny little, what is this? A pear tree. And oh my god, it's covered in bugs, and I can already see. These are leaf hoppers on the leaf right here, and I hate them so much. I don't know what to do to kill them. Like, they are horrendous. They are just, they suck on the leaves and get the sap, and it's very hard to spray for them, because if I spray too much pesticide, I may burn the leaves and damage, you know, the actual plant. And these, you see it's sitting on like a very young shoot here, so I can't spray. I don't want to touch them because they're disgusting. But I think what I'm gonna actually do, and I didn't know that they nap on the leaves like this, so after I finish taking this video, I'm gonna go get a bucket and soapy water, and I'm gonna like smack them into the soapy water and drown them because they're evil. But last year, this thing, when I planted this thing, it was too late for me to spray properly, and so I think it got diseased last year, so it barely made any leaves. It definitely did not make any flowers, didn't make any fruit. So this year, oh my gosh, it actually has little fruit forming, so I'm really hoping that I'm gonna get pears this year, because that would be amazing. I'm really hoping. On the side here, these are so hard to see in the dark. Like, roses are just not nighttime plants, unless they bloom white, but I don't have white roses right now, at least. And they just, let's just forget about that. This is a cranberry. I also don't expect to have anything to see here until like November when they have berries. So we're just gonna move on right along. Oh my gosh, white blooms do look so good at night. So this is thornless blackberry, and I love the way they look at night because they are so pretty. And I have to net everything because the bugs are just intense. Not just the bugs, the birds will come and pick these, and just it's really bad. So I try to cover it, but they're doing good. Down here is my tiny little fig tree, and so where the peach, you can see there's the peach, and on the left hand side we have these berries, and the fig is so small right now, but the fig will get to about 6 feet tall, so about yay tall. It's going to eventually, this canopy will sort of merge, right? And it's going to close this off and sort of leave this little area that I could potentially put another arch gate, because back here is a much more woodland looking area than if I turn around and we look at this. It's a little more manicured, lots of pots, looking a little more formal, lots of beds. So up there, the soil is horrible. It's gravel underneath, and there's been a driveway over that whole area for like 20 years. And so I can't grow anything directly in the ground. So I have to put them into these raised beds. And if I don't give them enough soil, nothing's going to grow. Like, literally, the soil is so hard. And that's why the fig tree up there is so tiny, because it's just fighting for its life with the soil. Even this fig, honestly, has been fighting. But I spent last year amending this spot to grow stuff, whereas a lot of these other ones here, down here, the soil is actually much better. So it's been amended for a couple years now. And so there's just way better soil down here, so I can actually grow things in the ground. I planted a whole bunch of bulbs in the ground this year down here, but something's been digging them up and eating them, and it's wild. So they don't like these for sure. Those are oh my gosh, what are they? They're gladiolus, and they don't like those, but they've been digging and eating a bunch of bulbs. So I think I can only plant, you know, animal proof bulbs, which is okay. I'm gonna plant some more bulbs because I really want this area to look very woodlandsy. But Horrible. So I'm kind of pissed about the lost bulbs, but at least they didn't really damage any of my big plants, except they did to one, but I don't think it was a I don't think it was a little mole or something. These are blueberries. These are small blueberries, and I have much bigger blueberries in the front, but they are forming and they're cute. But what I like about this area is that all the grass, it's not grass, first of all, they're all chives. I have so much chives everywhere, and I love them. They're super hardy. Nothing wants to eat them because they smell like garlic. I also planted little garlic cloves everywhere. So I may never get garlic from them. It's possible, I just don't care to even harvest it. But what I want is for my edibles here, my little blueberry bushes, I've got lots of berries back here, to be surrounded by all of this garlic, because then hopefully I'll have fewer pests coming in and trying to eat them. I also transplanted a lot of the tiny little strawberries, the ones with the tiny flowers back here. I just threw them in the ground, and whichever ones lived, great. So a bunch of them lived, and it's great. There's also a few little early spring ephemerals, so they're on their way out now. They're definitely done for the season, but it just gave me a little bit of color in like February when everything is super sad. And the thing is, like, right now, like, this looks amazing, right? It looks like it's glowing. It's so pretty at night, and you come out and there's like beautiful little bushes to look at. Well, in February, none of this is here. Like, the chives are dead, the blueberries are just twigs, all of this literally no leaves, and the only thing that's here are those little things, and they're tiny blooms in early spring. So they're amazing. I'm really thankful for them, but they've done their job, and they bloomed in February, so they're out, they're good, they want to take a nap. More blueberries. I have lots and lots of blueberries back here, lots of varieties. They all have their tags on them because there's no way I can remember, but they vary in bloom time, in fruiting time, in ripening time, so that I can have a varied harvest over time, as opposed to like everything all at once. And that way I can have just a little bit of berries for a really long window. This is a white currant. So I'm pretty sure this thing gets really tall, okay? And it was really tall. And then I came out the other day and it's kind of squashed on the ground. And that has never happened before, but I have a feeling that the kitty has been using it as napping space. The neighbor's kitty loves being here. It loves to nap in these little corners in the wood chip. I don't deter it, because if you have a cat wandering around, the chances of having moles and rats is a lot lower. So I'm thankful to have a predator. But man, I think it's been napping in this thing for real, because like, it did not look like this. And I actually had to put this in to help hold this up because the whole thing was falling down. But I'll show you at night. These look really cute. They're like tiny little berries. So these are white currants, and I think they'll look really cool at night too. And then these are honeyberries, and I was hoping they would look cool at night as well, because they have really interesting foliage, also very soft. I'm a fan of soft things. Oh my god, look at, I put these in the bucket. You see how fast they walk? That is absurd. So they're both trying to climb out to go eat more plants, but they are not going to be doing that. I'm just going to let them walk for a minute, and then they're going to go right into the garbage can. These little berries, these honeyberries, they have their blooms, but it is very hard to see their blooms because my arm is going to shade the whole thing. Their blooms are, oh, here's one. It's white, so we should be able to see it, but it's just so small, and it's hidden under the bush. So see that? There's a white bloom. So cute. Ridiculous. Tiny. Very cute. I like it. Sorry, I'm very bad at camera work. I don't know how to do this. Again, more pretty berries, pretty things, lots of pretty things. Very cute. I tried to have a climbing clematis right there. I don't know if it's really working. I don't know. I really struggle with climbing clematis. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna put something else in. Maybe a climbing hydrangea, although climbing hydrangeas get a little big and I'm a little scared about that. So we'll see. And then over here I have a tiny, tiny little goji berry that honestly, some random lady just gave to me one day. Like, she was like, hey, do you know how to eat goji berry? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you want a goji berry? Here. And then she just like gave me this pot. It also comes with a little volunteer columbine. I don't know if it was already in the pot or the columbine decided to live here, but I have a lot of volunteer columbine, so it's just here. And then this is one of the spring ephemerals I was talking about. I keep forgetting. Oh, they're called hellebores. I've been forgetting what they're called. And you know, they still look okay now, honestly, but their flowers start out, sometimes they start out white or pink or purple or like a deep magenta. But when this is actually not the flower. So the flower petals have fallen off, and this is the backs of them, the calyx. And the calyx is kind of pretty too. It's like, I don't know, greenish purple. But you know, they're done. They're ready to go back to sleep. So they'll probably be asleep pretty soon. And yeah, they're done. And then we're back at, this is my storage shed. It kind of looks like a horror house in there right now. It's like all white, so it looks really scary. And yeah, so we'll walk back and then I will say bye. Oh, this is my little bird that I got from Costco because I get a lot of plants from Costco and things from Costco. So yeah, see, woodland. I think these will all grow around the same rate too, like the bushes and the berries. So they'll grow probably about a foot a year. And so, you know, in 5 or 6 years, they're going to reach the top of the fence, but that's assuming if I don't prune them back down. So I will eventually prune it, keep it to about 4 feet. It's a little more manageable. I can actually pick things up. There's another bird and more hellebores in the peach tree and the rest of the yard. And then we'll just finish walking back to the little courtyard. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start calling it a courtyard with my fairy lights and my glowing persimmon tree. And my roses, which you can't see at all, but you have to believe me that they're almost blooming. And we will see them another time. In my cherry trees. And then this is, I actually have 4 chairs, but I didn't even put the last one together because I got tired. Last year, I got tired last year and I never recovered. So yeah, here's an area where I need help. What do right here? I was thinking, because of the lights, maybe white climbing things, because it'll look really cool at night. During the day, it's probably, you know, not really a thing. But I think at night, it could be cool. But I don't know. Either way, I would have to put in like a bed or something, because again, this is not like this soil. This fig is super vigorous and it's that big. And this is its 2nd year. It's been 2 years and that thing is not even a foot tall. So it is fighting for its life. If it was anything else, I think it would be dead. And then we're at the gate again with the roses. And the roses have made it halfway up the little arch. So I'm really hoping that by the end of this growing season, I will have roses, I don't know, maybe all the way to the top. That's the dream. So I'm gonna step back so you can see the whole arch because it's so pretty. Okay, bye.